Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elo, and today's a very exciting day for me because I have some major upgrades for my Norco Rampage 24. Let's get into it. I bet you want to know what's inside these two boxes. Which one should we open first, the big one or the little one? I think I want to open the big one first. Snip, snip. Here it is. This is a carbon M7J crank. It's 145 millimeters, and these are my favorite cranks. The other box.
What could it be?
I wonder. Here we go. What a surprise! It's the other M7J.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Those look sick.
They are. 145. Going like that. Yeah. Sweet. Carbon too. Shall we install them? Yeah. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off these steel cranks, and then we're gonna get a scale and weigh them against the Samox M7J cranks and see how much weight we save. Then after that, we're gonna put on my new cranks. But since this alloy spindle is thicker, we need a dub bottom bracket so that it'll fit. So we have to change the bottom bracket too. Okay, so our first step is we need to get the chain off the front chainring. And to do that, this Norco has a very nice screw right there to adjust the chain tension. And since this is a single speed, we'll have to push the wheel forward. So we'll have to loosen that bolt, loosen the wheel, and push the wheel forward to hopefully get the chain off. Those nice bolts on both sides. Lefty loosey. Other side. There we go. And now that we have the chain off, we're gonna move on to the pedals and then the cranks. So now we're gonna get these pedals off to transfer to the new cranks. There is one. To get these cranks off, all you're gonna need is a size 5 Allen key and a size 6 Allen key. So follow me around to this side of my bike so we can get it off. So first, the size 5 to loosen these two pinch bolts. That should be good. These have to be loosened, they don't have to come all the way off. Have this big bolt in the middle. Take this one all the way out. Pop out. Yep. There's this side. Then you just pull the other side out. There's our old cranks. Now let's weigh them against the new one. To make this a fair comparison, these cranks, as you can see, have a 30-tooth chainring, and we have a 30-tooth chainring right here that Samox sent us. So we're going to put those on our Samox M7Js, then weigh them. This chainring is really easy to put on because it's a direct mount, so it'll just slide in. All the holes will align. It's like that, a Y, and all the holes are aligned. And now you just pop in the screws. Here's one. And this will only need 3 screws, which are T25s. We're just gonna tighten these down to 9 Newton meters. Now let's weigh the cranks. So the first crank set is 684 grams. Now let's weigh the carbon crank set. These are only 504 grams. That's a lot of weight saved. Shall we put them on now? The new crankset has a wider spindle than the old one, so it requires a dub, so it won't fit with this bottom bracket. But we have a dub bottom bracket that we're gonna use, so let's put that on now. This arrow is to tighten it, go towards the back, so we're gonna turn towards the front. So we're going to use a Park Tools BBT9, which is just a standard bottom bracket tool to get this bottom bracket out. side down, one side to go. So now we're gonna weigh them. The old one, which is a Pro Wheel bottom bracket, to a new SRAM Dub bottom bracket. So let's weigh the old one first. That's weighing in at 95 grams. And now the new one, which is a SRAM Dub, weighing in at about 70 grams. So that's even more weight saved. Let's get it on the bike. So bottom bracket install is really easy. You're just gonna lube the threads. And then the other side. And then you just screw it in. So this side should just slide in. And the arrow tells you what way to turn. So this arrow is going this way. Okay. We'll finish tightening that later. And now let's put on the other side. Again, following the arrow. Make sure the right side of the bottom bracket is on the right and the left is on the left. Okay, now we're going to torque that down to 50 Newton meters. So we're going to use our big torque wrench for this because it's 50 Newton meters or about 37 foot-pounds. And so since this is lefty-tighty, you have to flip the switch on your torque wrench. It's better to do this on the floor. There we go. That's 50 Newton meters. Now let's get it back up on the stand. Samox already put thread lock on this and a little bit of grease, but we're just gonna add a little bit extra grease. Make sure that this black ring is backed off before installing. Okay, so the far side first because it's the part with the spindle. It should just slide in. And just follow the arrows to tighten it. You might need 2 people to hold the crank. 35 to 40 Newton meters, so let's do 30 seconds. So after you put the cranks on, use this little adjuster ring and tighten it up so that there's no slack. Then tighten this screw right here. But not too tight so you don't strip it. I'm so excited. There we go. Now I just need to tighten up the wheel and put on my pedals. Okay. Now we're just gonna go righty-tighty because that'll push the screw out, pushing the wheel back. Right now I'm just making sure, since there's 2 bolts, that the wheel is centered. So what I do is I just stick my finger if it can fit. Then I just do it on that side. That seems good. Now we're doing the second last step, which is tightening up the wheel, and then we'll put on the pedals. Then we'll be done. Tighten on that side. I'm going to throw a little grease on my pedals and throw them in. That's the end of the video. Thank you, Samox, for sending me these new cranks, and I'm really stoked to go ride this. So please like and subscribe if you want to see me riding this. Bye!